Saying with regards to the protest that happened in Ogbomoso and whether the people realize what the problem is, Nigerians know the problem. Nigerians know that this government has failed them. Nigerians are not happy with what this government is doing. But the reality is that this government is investing heavily in division. This government is investing heavily in insecurity. This government is using all it can do to create division among Nigerians. And they are the ones sponsoring this feeling of this is my tribesman, this is my turn. Look at the pronouncement of government officials. Look at the pronouncements of people like Bayo Onanuga. Pronouncements of people like Reno Mokri and Fani Kayode. These are guys who are being paid heavily to ensure that Nigerians are divided. They raise ethnocentric division. They even raise these religious schisms amongst Nigerians. But it is left for Nigerians to unite and realize that we are more than them. There is no difference from the poverty being suffered by somebody in Ogbomoso and somebody in Owerri, or somebody else in Rufa in Kano. So there should be unity of purpose to ensure that this nonsense that this government has kept us into does not continue longer than necessary. But they are going to keep on investing in insecurity because they know that as long as we are insecure, as long as there is division in the people, whether based on religion or on ethnicity, it will be difficult for them to because the government. Mr. President has both Igbos, Yorubas, Kanuri in his government. Are they not friends? But they only create this division for the people so that the people on the street will not say, okay, I'm Yoruba, these are Yoruba's son. Yoruba's son, but is there any petrol station where they sell food to only the Yorubas, or to only the Hausas, or to only the Igbos? Is there any market which is meant only for APC supporters, or for Christians or Muslims? So the punishment to the people is uniform. I mean, but they keep on raising this ethnocentric divide to divide the people. But we must learn to overcome this division so that we can act in unison and kick these characters out of office. Thank you.
You've got a great idea. GoDaddy has the perfect domain name to go with.
Thank you.
All right, Barrister, there were claims that the Senate President Godswill Akpabio threatened Northerners over the 2027 presidential election, saying that if they will not vote for Tinubu, because we noticed some apathy in some of the northern states, so that if they do not vote for Tinubu's second term, they should be expelled from Nigeria. Obviously, they also continue the fact that these claims are spurious and that the Senate President cannot make such a statement considering how delicate such a statement is. Obviously, there was a circulation of a viral video which alleges that Akpabio warned that the North needs to support President Bola Tinubu in the next election or risk being expelled from the country. Now, the Senate President's office quickly reacted to such a claim, saying that it is false and dangerous for such a narrative to go viral, that the claim was deliberately fabricated to create tension and mislead Nigerians ahead of the political activities leading to 2027. In fact, in a statement issued today, Akpabio's special advisor on diaspora and non-governmental organization, Jibril Tafida, the Senate President denied ever making such remarks, and that unequivocally the President of the Senate never made such a statement, and that the statement is completely false. But lately, with what has been going on with insecurity, across social media, religion has entered into the whole space, and now they're encompassing everyone to be from the Fulani extraction, and that we've heard that the Sahel region has been very volatile. We're having a lot of these Maghrebs coming through our borders, and we even saw what happened with the second ISIS global leader that was recently annihilated by the United States of American Army and the Nigerian Army. Obviously, they have set up their camps here and imported their persons here. But in those regions, there is no government presence. Is it possible that the Fulani ethnic group are being misrepresented?
Thank you very much. I think definitely yes, the Fulanis are being misrepresented. I'm well traveled across Nigeria, and I have friends who are Fulani. I mean, I've been to their home base. Even when I served in the north, one of my basic first choice drinks was Fulani Nunanko. So I am very close to the Fulanis, just like I'm also very close to people from across the country. There is nothing wrong with the Fulanis. What has happened is that criminal elements, and these criminal elements exist in every tribe, including among the Igbos, Yorubas, the Nupes, the Jukuns, everywhere. You have criminal elements. And those are the problems with our society. The criminal elements, not an entire ethnic group. It is silly for anybody to say an entire ethnic group is the problem. No, they are not. But I have very close friends who are from Malumfashi, that is a very called Fulani settlement in Katsina State, and where I have stayed overnight with my friends over there. So the issue is certainly not Fulani. It's not Fulani, but there are criminal elements in each group, even in families. In families, there resides criminal elements, whether it's an Igbo, Yoruba, whatever Hausa family. So let us stop ethnicizing this issue. And that's on the Fulani issue. But with regards to what was attributed to the Senate president, you see, this is one of those things this regime has invested in. They will in one blow hot and cold, and all this is trying to create ethnic divides. I mean, I don't take it beyond them. Even the so-called rumor can be recreated by the government itself or by the office of the Senate president, then he will now deny it. Because all this now leads to creating divide, that there is a north and south divide. But there's nothing like north and south. Because when you talk of the north, do you realize that there are over 200 ethnic groups in the north? And some don't even see eye to eye with themselves. So how can anybody say not northern Nigeria? Or it's like someone to say southern Nigeria. What do you mean by southern Nigeria? Where you have more than 150 ethnic nationalities. Some of them who don't even see eye to eye. So it's only rascal elements that will now say I'm speaking for the north, or I'm speaking for the south. Even speaking for the west is nonsensical, because there are elements in Osun State, in the Paraji where Tinubu comes from, who don't even like his God. So let us diffuse and stop talking about this ethnocentric or clannish in clannish matters. We should be thinking of the best way out of this mess these characters in government have gotten us into. And they will keep on doing their best, trying to raise ethnocentric and religious divide. But it's left for Nigerians to say, look, we must rise above this. There is nothing wrong between me and my Muslim friends, or me and my Yoruba ethnic friends from all over. Human beings are human beings, and not the ethnic groups. Thank you very much.
Barrister, aptly put, because it's quite imperative that we have these conversations. I mean, these are the kind of topics that circulate across social media, and it's now on Facebook. Facebook is one of the platforms where most Nigerians, no matter how rural, no matter the rural areas they reside, they actually have a Facebook account, and you're seeing this kind of narratives flying by. It's actually quite dangerous. You also have some media houses that actually, do linguistic broadcast, and you cannot tell the kind of conversations that circulate in such platforms. So this orientation is very needed. But this is where
sorry, before we leave this topic, let me just also clarify something. There are characters on Facebook, because you mentioned Facebook and some of these social media platforms. They will deliberately adopt names that are not of their own ethnicity. That you will see somebody who is Igbo, he will adopt an Hausa name to create messages that attack the Southeast or attack the Yorubas. You will likewise also see a Yoruba person, he will adopt an Igbo name and begin to post rubbish with that name. So Nigerians should even look beyond it, because this is what I mean by when I say this government invests in division. They invest in dividing us. So we must tell them we are not fools to be divided. So when you see a name like maybe you see on Facebook, you see Eze Eluche talking crap about Yorubas, people automatically say these Igbos have come again. But that is not the truth, because this government pays these rascals on social media, the online rats.
Yeah.
They pay them so much to create division, and we must stand up against it. We must look through this nonsense they keep on saying and realize that our problems are the same. And our problem is, how do we get these rascal elements in government out and give Nigeria and our future a chance in the International Committee of Nations?
I borrowed 300,000 naira. I need to pay back 380,000 naira.
I borrowed 300,000 naira and
Committee of Nations. Thank you.
All right, Barrister, very quickly, there are talks that the United States of America, Donald Trump, is controlling President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The perception is the fact that if Tinubu wants to ensure that the U.S. collaborates to ensure that he comes back in 2027, he must agree to certain conditions. We're hearing about some military bases being set up here, although the Nigerian government has not given any confirmation to that. And we're seeing conditions being set up by the American government in terms of collaboration to help with insecurity in the country. Is it possible that such a conspiracy theory can even be considered to be true? And is the administration so desperate to want to cling on to power, to accept any condition from their European counterparts just to retain power?
Well, thank you very much for this question. You see, the reality is this. One thing that Mr. Donald Trump has a phobia or has abhors in its totality is drugs. And when I'm talking of drugs, I'm talking of addictive substances. I mean, the news is that he's won his children, he's won his family. Anybody who goes near drugs, he will kick him out of his lineage. And so any news that Mr. Trump will want to align with a man who has forfeited over $460,000 to the U.S. government for drug trafficking and money laundering related purposes, you can just throw it into the trash bin. I don't think such a thing exists. I don't think Mr. Trump needs to be in bed with Mr. Tinubu to achieve American aims in Nigeria. There are better ways of doing it and more cleaner ways. So whoever is creating that rumor or that news is just like one of their, they will keep on saying all that rubbish. That now they are collaborating with Tinubu. The collaboration is towards eradicating criminals, eradicating Islamist terrorists. And America will collaborate with even the devil to achieve that purpose. So that's another talk for the day, for another day.
Yeah.
But the issue whether whether the U.S. wants military bases or whatever, I mean, the world has now gotten to a level. If you see what is going on during this Iran, U.S.-Israel war, no country needs to even have bases at all or have boots on ground in your country. They fire ballistic missiles from 2,000-3,000 kilometers away, and they achieve their purposes. The attack that the U.S. has done in Sokoto and the other day in Bornu state, was not affected by any troops on the ground. These were missiles that were launched from far off.
Really? But the Nigerian army and the Nigerian government claimed that, in fact, the U.S. did not even put any boot on ground, that it was their own soldiers that routed out the guy and they provided the intelligence.
Okay, tell them to go and rout out the criminals who kidnap people in Kwara State. They don't just make noise when America is talking. They should go to those schools where people have been kidnapped. Let the military go there and do what they should do, and not only say because the U.S. has achieved some objectives and they are now coming to be part of that process. There are several instances where small-scale criminals, these Islamic terrorists, have come to ravage communities. Let the military go there and show their muzzle, and don't just come and claim that what America has succeeded in doing, they are also part of it. I mean, they should get serious. They should get serious, for goodness sake. And I would begin to question the utility of having the military. If in most cases, when these terrorists come to attack communities, there's no reaction, no response from both the police and the military. So they should not provoke Nigerians more.
All right. Barrister, now, so I'm sure you watched Dele Momodu's interview yesterday evening, and everyone was surprised. Dele Momodu admitted on live TV that at the end of the day, the plan was to do what you call a consensus. And my question is this: if the reality was for an Atiku Peter Obi, ticket, why was that conversation not had in the 18 months that they said they were together before they officially adopted the ADC as a party to coalesce? Because Rotimi Amici was on a monitor television program, I think Daily Trust, and he said he's not stepping down for anybody. He said he didn't buy his presidential form to become a vice. He's running for presidency. Hayatuddin also insisted that he's running. In fact, it made them postpone their screening at some point because they were thinking they would have a consensus. I think they did not see Peter Obi leaving before the closed window. Now, I don't know if Atiku did try to reach out to Peter Obi to say, okay, let's be strategic about this. I don't know if they had any conversation. But Peter Obi said no conversation was had about him deputizing anybody. So if this was the strategy, because Dele Momodu said that the only way to unseat Tinubu is for a northern candidate to be on the picture. A northern candidate with a strong southern deputy, a strong southern candidate to ensure that Tinubu does not return. It's all about strategy, anything but winning, despite the supposed unconstitutional zoning formula. So if this was what the ADC members had in mind, why was this conversation not had from the onset? So everybody knows what they are doing. Maybe give some people time to decide if they would eventually do it, since it's a very strategic means. Why was there deceit from the onset of this coalition?
Thank you very much. In 2 words, what Mr. Dele Momodu was talking is absolute nonsense. Because the reality is this. I mean, if you are selling your nomination form for 100 million and somebody buys it, he wants to contest. And that is exactly what Mr. Amechi stated, that he wants to contest. That is why he bought it. So if there was any sinister motive, if there was any hidden plot by surrogates of Atiku Abubakar, such as Dele Momodu, for Mr. Atiku to be made a consensus candidate, it has been blown sky high. Because you don't bring grown men and expect them to just toe your line without discussing it in advance. And like you said earlier, Mr. Peter Obi had said nobody discussed these issues. So if they had this in the back of their mind and did not bring it out to the fore, only hoping that when they now discuss it, it will be too late for those who may want to contest to now have their own flag. It has backfired massively. And I do support people like democracy is you should bring yourself forward. If you think you can do it, try your best. And so if Mr. Mechi and Alhaji Hayatuddin and the ADC say they want to contest, they must contest. Those are the rules. There is no way you can buy a form and then somebody says there must be consensus. So I think they should be more serious. And it's good that we have this multiplicity of parties, so that those who are seen through this scam that the ADC try to hoodwink Nigerians on can now know that they have other options, whether it's to vote for the NDC or to vote for wherever they will decide. But as long as Nigerians decide that these ruling characters in the APC should be kicked out, and for them, we must find a way to ease ourselves of these roguish elements who have destroyed this country.
All right, Barry,
stop this destruction any further. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Please stay with us. We're taking a very